Hello, ma'am, and all of my friends who are watching this presentation video. So first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Gede Ardika Jaya Putra with students ID number 201-202-1098. And I'm from the English Education Study Program at Ganesha Education University. On this occasion, I will make a presentation video related to the topics of restaurant stuff. Before moving on the material, I have a question for you guys. What do you think about the picture on the slides? Do you know the name of that place? And have you ever observed who and what is in the place? Yes, that's right. From the picture, we know that is a picture of a restaurant. So as we know, in the restaurants, there are people who work to serve customers. Therefore, in this presentation, I will explain the people who work in restaurants, the name of their position and their basic duties. But before we move to the material, I will explain about the definition of restaurants according to expert. So the definition according to Atmojo in 2005, restaurant is a place for building that is organized commercially, which provides good service to all customers, either in the form of food or drinks. But according to Sucresno in 2000, restaurants is a commercial business that provides food and drink services for the publics and is managed professionally. So from that, we know that a restaurant is a facility or place for providing food or beverage service for a fee that can generate profits. Next, I will explain about the types of work in the food and beverage or F&B sector. So there are first management. So the management role is the one who is responsible for ensuring the success of a restaurant. Some of this including implementing food safety, storage procedures, developing marketing strategies. And the second is floor supervisor. So the main task of the floor supervisor is to provide strategic direction from store management to be released in the implementation of daily work, which must be directly supervised. So in this floor supervisor, there are two parts. The first is front of house or FOH. So as part of the floor supervisor, the function and role the front of house can be identified from its activities in the main part of the restaurant. So they are responsible for preparing tables, setting and a food, greeting and serving customer, and providing all the equipment for the restaurant's operation. And some of the job position are as a greeter, host, waiter, and server. And the second is back of house or BOH. So back of house workers are restaurant staff who specialize in the kitchen area or the back of the restaurants. So starting from the cook to the person in charge of washing dishes, become a unified a team that support the perfection of restaurant service. And some of the job position are chef, barista, bartender, and so on. That's all about the types of work in the food and beverage or F&B. And then there are restaurant staff. The first is restaurant manager. It is the person in charge of the restaurants. So the basic that is responsible for the performance of their restaurant business, as well as maintains high standard of food, service, and health and safety. And the restaurant management combines strategic planning, organization, and of shift patterns and day-to-day management activities. And the second is senior captain or restaurant supervisor. So this is the person who organize, supervise, and trains all service personnel in the restaurants with a view to providing quick and personalized food and beverage service to the customer. And the third, there is captain or head waiter. So to this is the people to organize who organize and supervise and assign restaurant station with a view to providing fast and efficient food and beverage service. So next is administrator or secretary. It is the person in charge of the economy in a restaurant. So the basic that is uh, worked constantly with contents and all matter related to bank accounts, capital profile, losses, and staff salaries. And then there is cashier. So we know cashier is a person who is in charge of recording guests who come to the restaurant as well as serving payments and making reports to be submitted to the accounting department. And then there is front of house staff or FOH. So in the front of house staff, there are six part or there are the six position. The first, the receptionist. So this is the person in charge of receiving a visitor and verifying the reservation. Also manage the flow of entry of arriving guests. And the second is maitre or butler. So this is the person whose job is to give direct order to the waiters and making sure that they show a good personal presentation and serve very well to the customer. And then there is a restaurant hostess. So this is the person who archive and record the table reservation requested for the restaurants. This to extend warm and courteous welcome and hospitality to guests visiting the restaurants and allot them to the table. And then there is waiter or waitress. So for the men, we call is waiters, and for the women, we call the waitress. So this is the person in charge of delivering food and drinks, and they are in charge of taking orders to the kitchen and delivering. This is once they are ready, and then there in the front of house staff there are bar staff. So bar staff in the uh, in the bar staff there are several job positions such as the first bartenders, assistant bartenders, and bar staff. So bartender are exclusively dedicated to dealing with the customer and preparing cocktail or drinks to their liking. And then there is assistant bartender. Assistant bartenders prepare everything a bartender needs to prepare cocktail, drink, including preparing ingredients and cleaning the bar area. And the last is barista. So a barista is a person who is dedicated to preparing drinks such as a coffee, other mixed drinks, shakes, smoothies, and more. And the last one of the part in front of house staff, there is sommeliers. So this is the people who are expert in enology and they are in charge of recommending the right wine. So for the event and alreadies. So the sommeliers in the large restaurant. So sommelier is a person who expert in wine. And number seven, there there are back of house staff or BOH. And in the back of house staff, there are five position. The first is the chef or executive chef. So the chef, as we know, the chef is a person who creating a menu from the largest to smallest dishes and directing all the kitchen's employees to their different station. And the executive chef is a part of the administrative staff and one of the most important roles in the kitchen. And the second is kitchen manager. So it is the person responsible for conducting a complete inventory of everything in the kitchen and must ensure that all ingredients are available. And the third position is assistant chef. So assistant chef, a person who is in a assistant chef and a leading commander in cooking, but under the leadership of the head chef. That's the assistant chef. And next is the station chef. So the station chef, the person who responsible for reporting directly to the executive chef and assistant chef. In the station chef, there are several types or several positions. The first is sauce maker. So sauce maker is who persons uh, I'm sorry, sauce chef is a person who supervises fish cooks and seafood cooks. And then there are cake chef. This the who who are responsible for supervising cake or dessert chef. And then there is a pantry chef. This is the person who supervises the butcher. And then there is rotisserie chef. It is the person who responsible for cooking grilled food and fries. And the last one is horse de vire. So this is the person who supervises the stew or soup cook and the vegetable cook. Okay, that's the types in the station chef. And the last one is about cleaning staff or cleaning position. So this is the person in charge of cleaning, which is includes dishwasher and who cleans the cooks work utensil and who clean the kitchen in general. This is the basic data of the cleaning staff. And then in this slide, I have a restaurant's organization structure. You can see the organization structure of the restaurant. This is the structure of the restaurant. And then there are feature and parts of the restaurant. So as you see on the screen or on the picture, there are cashier, reception, and bar, cold kitchen, pantry, hot kitchen, waiter station, and there are many tables. And yeah, there's the feature and part of the restaurants. Okay, I think that's all about my explanation regarding to the topic of restaurant staff, position, and basic data. And for the question and answer session, as the instructor, you can ask question in our Google Classroom. And you can also provide comments and suggestion for my presentation, and I will respond your question to the Google Classroom. All right, everyone, that's all about my presentation. I apologize if there are shortcomings, mispronunciation, and unclear explanation in my presentation. And thank you for listening to my explanation. I hope what I explained can be useful for us. See you all and have a nice day.